Mesothelioma lawyers. In this video, we'll talk about mesothelioma lawyers. So, if you have been diagnosed with mesothelioma due to asbestos exposure, call the mesothelioma lawyers at the Dominguez firm right away for a free and confidential consultation at the number today. We are available to take your call 24/7. When you choose the Dominguez firm for your mesothelioma case, you receive the services of our experienced award winning attorneys. Among them is lead trial attorney and partner Scott Peebles. Attorney Peebles has successfully handled various types of mesothelioma lawsuits, including a verdict for over $30 million, which was the top asbestos related verdict in the state of California for 2018. Below, you will find more information on mesothelioma as well as your options and rights if you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma after being exposed to asbestos. Know that mesothelioma victims do have the right to seek compensation from the companies that compromised their health. So, what is mesothelioma? Mesothelioma is a cancer of the mesothelium, the tissue that surrounds most of your internal organs. Even though this type of cancer is rare, it has been diagnosed at a higher than average rate among workers in certain professions and the military. The common thread is exposure to asbestos. Unfortunately, even minor exposure to asbestos dust can cause mesothelioma. It is dangerous enough that someone exposed to its fibers on others' person clothes can also develop this kind of cancer. This is known as secondary asbestos exposure. Mesothelioma is an aggressive cancer with no known cure. In recent years, however, new medical treatments have increased victims' expectancies and quality of life. To learn more, please click on the preceding link. What is asbestos? Asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral. When observed under a microscope, its sharp fibers are clearly visible. If someone is near asbestos and inhales these fibers, they lodge in the lining of the mesothelium, which causes inflammation and scarring in that area. That in turn leads to the development of tumors over time. Asbestos was commonly used in building materials and industrial products well into the 1990s. This low cost mineral is resistant to heat, which makes it a top choice for insulating buildings and homes. Thousands of people worked near asbestos with no protection for decades. Today, we know how deadly asbestos is, but its use has not been entirely banned in the United States. The most prevalent type of mesothelioma is pleural mesothelioma, which attacks the tissue around the lungs. Peritoneal mesothelioma affects the tissue under the abdomen, heart, and testicle. Is mesothelioma the same as lung cancer? Mesothelioma is not the same as lung cancer because the symptoms are similar. Many people believe they are the same. While lung cancer attacks inside the lungs, mesothelioma attacks the tissue lining of the lungs, which makes it different type of cancer. So, what are some of the symptoms of mesothelioma? Pleural and peritoneal mesothelioma display different symptoms. Here are some of the most common for each. Pleural mesothelioma symptoms: chest pain, difficulty in breathing, fluid buildup, lumps beneath the skin in the area of the chest, persistent dry cough, unusual weight loss. Peritoneal mesothelioma symptoms: abdominal pain and swelling, chest pains, especially for those diagnosed with mesothelioma in the tissue surrounding the heart. Fatigue, loss of appetite, nausea, unusual weight loss. Which jobs are most at risk for mesothelioma? As previously noted, anyone working in close proximity to asbestos has a much higher risk of developing mesothelioma. Workers in certain jobs are particularly in danger. Construction workers, including those who regularly work with insulation and electricians. Shipyard workers, textile factory workers, especially those who are around fire retardant and heat resistant materials. Factory workers in certain sectors, such as manufacturers of automotive brake parts and pipes, military personnel. The military used asbestos for building and fireproofing across all branches of the military, but Navy personnel carry a greater risk of exposure to asbestos. Most Navy ships built before the 1980s have very large amount of asbestos on board. The material was used extensively in the building of these vessels. So that was all for this video.